2 minutes. The second will get 3 minutes, and the third will get 3 minutes. And basically,
I will be serving and am currently serving as the chief negotiator for NEMSA in this county. We are 4 articles away from a new agreement. We'd like to be able to finish that contract. I started in EMS as an EMT in the private sector, worked as a paramedic, and then worked as a firefighter paramedic, 8 years in EMS. I'm starting my 17th year as a labor attorney representing public safety employees, both private and public. Have represented cops, firemen, municipal employees, as well as EMS workers. I've been NEMSA's labor negotiator and NEMSA's counsel since late 2004.
Thank you. I can tell you who I would suggest as your chief negotiator, which would be Dick Anderson, who is our chief negotiator for the IEP, who has 30 years of experience. But I won't tell you who to choose for your chief negotiator. Most of our locals choose to utilize him. We've got 56 locals around the country. We've got one that doesn't like to use anybody. A little mom and pop shop, and they have a relationship, they choose not to use one of our negotiators. We strongly suggest that folks do. I would suggest and make available that you do use Dick Anderson. He has 30 years labor experience. He has literally done hundreds of labor contracts, probably 50 or 60 in EMS, currently the chief negotiator for the IE.
As far as who is going to be the negotiator for you, the chief negotiator for your particular contract, ASME has a history of negotiating 1,000 contracts all over the country in the public and private sector workforces. From Kaiser Nurses to Local 101 here in San Jose, and it, bargaining multiple contracts all over the country. Who your chief negotiator is selected by your board of directors in combination with the membership. You get to have a say in who is your contract negotiator. We won't be appointing a negotiator for you. Do we have staff to negotiate contracts? We have multiple staff members from all over the country.
You know who you're getting here, and you know what the track record has been here. An attorney at the table, someone who can respond to everything that they're doing, knows the legal ramifications, is thinking down the road how to enforce it, thinking what the potential issues are going to be. I think it makes me more effective than the others.
Have this again, and what is your plan for other union bus events?
Should have been considered bargaining unit members from the very beginning. There's multiple cases of casual employees being included in bargaining units, and United EMS Workers has been involved in that issue from the very beginning. When the FTOs came to us and mentioned that these employees had been hired, we immediately began to deal with the issue through your field training officers. And
going forward, and then I will give you some history. On a going forward basis, there will not be any issues regarding the hiring of casual employees or the attempted hiring of non-union employees by this company as far as I'm concerned. With that said, I can't make an employer follow the law just as much as I can't make murderers not kill people. If they're going to do things, they're going to do things. The question is what remedies you have available to you to address those particular issues. The issue has been addressed. The casuals that everyone was upset about are in the bargaining unit. We've already negotiated language, have tentative agreements in this contract we're almost finished with that address all of those issues, and the company is more than happy to allow any variation of part-time person to be in the bargaining unit. The history of this thing, as briefly as I can, with the FTOs, it seemed to me to be very short-sighted and reckless to tell FTOs to, one, resign and lose $1 an hour for a problem that hadn't happened yet, and two, to engage in what could be regarded as a slowdown or an unauthorized, unlawful job action that can get them
We
fired.
have a strategy at the IEP. We will go literally anywhere to organize really the big three of Rural Metro AMR and Paramedics Plus. We want to build density with each of those companies so that we have enough leverage to force them to do the right thing in the first place. And the other way to get around it is to organize unorganized workers. Frankly, all three unions here are looking at a group of people who are already organized. But, you know, I point out Mike Stone from Florida, who's up here working with us as a volunteer. And he's employed in a union shop in the state of Florida, which is a right-to-work state, because we went down and organized there. And after we organized Mike Stone's shop, he came out and helped us organize Volusia County in Florida. They haven't got a contract yet. We just had the election. We haven't even had officer elections, but we won 81-7 in Florida, which is not a big union state. And so folks know, when we go to places like that, members don't have to pay us dues.
Well, I'll put it simply, in the end, yes, it was resolved, the issue was resolved, but simply it should have never happened. If the union had been on top of the measure, had been on top of what was going on in the first place, Rural Metro never probably would have tried it. Employers are going to try what they can. If they can get away with it, they'll get away with it. But if they know that they can't get away from the start, then they won't even try. And simply, it never should have happened in the first place. It simply should have, making the FTOs having to force their position to even take a risk of losing their jobs, which I disagree with. I think sometimes you got to take a stand, and you've got to show that you're willing to stand up for what's right.
You're talking about within the union?
Within the union.
NEMSA has, as far as NEMSA's internal accountability is concerned, NEMSA has two independent audit firms. We have one that does audits NEMSA's books monthly, and we have an annual audit that's done, and we also have the federal LM2 that gets filed. In the context of transparency, anybody can request what's called our Hudson statements, where all the money's going, and we have to provide that for them. In the context of the rumors and stuff that's been floating around about NEMSA mismanaging finances and that there's embezzling here and embezzling there, I just want to point out that with the borrowing of NEMSA's computers when they were borrowed from our office, they turned them over to the DOL, and the DOL apparently examined everything, all of the books, all of the files, all of the QuickBooks things, and there was absolutely zero problems with anything that they looked at all. So that's that piece.
You know, so it is a safeguard having an international union, I can say, because the Department of Labor will call them up and say, we've got a problem with one of your locals, that, you know, people are making allegations, and they look to them internally to straighten it out, and if not, they step in and do their jobs. But like I say, we really have nothing to hide. It's out there. Our LM2 is probably 200 pages in the public record.
UMSW, not only will have the same reporting aspects that all unions have to do with the federal government, we will make sure that at any time, any member who wants to look at the finances of the union, you're welcome to come. They'll be all welcome to come and look at the books. We'll have nothing to hide. Everything will be transparent. We'll also have an elected board of trustees, which will be members who are not part of the board of directors of the union. They'll be the ones that will look at the finances every year. They will be the ones to oversee how the budget and how the members' money is being spent within the union. All